What's going on, everybody? It's your girl Thickness with the Quickness, and you are watching me on my YouTube channel, baby. But before we get started, I would like for you to like me, share me, like it, share me with anybody you like and you love, anybody you like and love. Hell, even if you don't like them and love them, still share me, okay? And don't forget to hit the notification bell because y'all, anytime your girl upload any kind of video, you will be first to get notified, y'all. Y'all, today is my baby's birthday. I mean, my babies. You know, I got 4 babies, but my baby, my last baby, birthday today, you guys, and he turned 14 years old today. Yay! Yay for him, you guys. Yes, today is his birthday, and he is too excited, and we are too. Okay, over here, y'all, we take birthdays. We take birthdays so deeply over here. We have a deep heart and love for birthdays over here, y'all. So today is his day, y'all. And everything that we're going to be doing today, y'all, he asks if it's all right that he do all these things. And I say, it's your birthday, baby. Whatever you want to do, we got to do it, okay? But don't you get too crazy now, okay? So y'all, everything we're going to be doing for him today is on his request, okay? It is by his request, y'all. And so we have done our best to make sure he's going to enjoy his birthday, y'all. So y'all, it's about 6 o'clock in the morning. Y'all, it is actually 6 o'clock on the dot, okay? Your girl been up all night long doing the twos and froos, getting the wham whams and the juju beans and things like that for him for his birthday. He didn't ask for much, y'all. He didn't ask for much. One thing about my kids, they are humble, laid back kids. They don't ask for the extreme, big, extreme things. But on Christmas, that's when they do. But for their birthdays, they more laid back. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thankful to that, y'all, because I have raised my children to be humble kids, be thankful kids, always give themselves and everything that they own to God first. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way I raised them. So y'all, he just kept it real simple. He gonna hang out with a few of his friends and things like that. He wanted a little cake and everything. And breakfast, he want breakfast made for him as well. And y'all, the most important thing that he want done, baby, he want this. Baby, he want this. He want his mama to wake him up like I do all my children. Even my oldest kids, y'all, even though they're away from me, they live in their own crib, y'all, I still call them on the phone and sing happy birthday to them. Okay, y'all, I'm not gonna turn it on right now because he is still sleeping and I want to let him get some rest because y'all, he been up all night long, so excited for his birthday. But baby, he came in my room and he said, Mama, don't you forget this right here because I need you to wake me up with your birthday song and your rap. Y'all, let me tell you something. I am so silly when it come down to my kids singing happy birthday to them and rapping a little song or two to them. Last year, and well, not last year, but years, every year, I would do this for my kids, okay? I would call their ass on the phone and sing happy birthday. I would knock on their door and sing happy birthday and wake their asses up with this one right here. So y'all, I don't know. I might film this, me walking into his room and waking his ass up with this here. Okay, singing happy birthday. Y'all, he ain't caring about nothing else as long as his mama come in there with this here and sing happy birthday to him, y'all. That's all he is so excited for because he know every year I sing something different. I rap a little too. I rap something to him. You know what I'm saying, y'all? I'm not talking about these day and age rapping, baby. I'm talking about the rapping like back in the 80s because I'm an 80s girl. I grew up in the 80s, okay, y'all? He wants some of that rapping. So I'm going to try to do my best. Shit, I done got a little dusty. I probably can't handle it like I used to, but y'all, baby, let me tell you, He is excited for this here, so I'm gonna give it to him the best way I can. So, okay, y'all. So I'm gonna let y'all hear a little tune or two or three, y'all. I don't know. Hell, I might let y'all come along with it when I wake him up. But I'm not gonna show him, okay, y'all? That's something I don't do. I don't show my children on my channel. All right. But anyway, y'all, but today is my baby's birthday, and baby, he is turning 14. He turned 14. Yay, yay. I'm like, damn, where did the time go, baby? Y'all is making y'all mama old, baby. Y'all is making my age push up. Okay, baby, and I'm gonna tell you something. I had him at a older age, you know what I'm saying? He was one of my babies that I had in my 40s. But you know, that's just how it is. I had two babies, you know, in my little old age. You know, when they said, what you doing with a baby? Baby, I came up, pop goes the weasel. Here I am, baby. Standing here 40-something years old pregnant. Don't you play with me, play with your friends, baby. Yes, I did. I did that with this here, okay? But y'all, baby, I'm just too excited as well because, like I said, baby, God gave me my baby 14 years ago, baby, and I gave him right back to God 14 years ago today, baby. Yes, I did. Yes, indeed, y'all. God is good, baby, and He's good all the time. I'm just so thankful to be here to celebrate with Him for His birthday. You know what I mean? I'm just thankful to God that He's given me another year to celebrate with my children. Because let me tell you something, every time my kids make a new age, y'all, I celebrate with them because I think about the time and the labor that I push and pull and push and pull with them, baby. Okay, I celebrate too because I was pushing and pulling and pushing and pulling. Okay, giving birth. Okay, so having a baby is a beautiful thing. Okay, what I'm saying, having a baby is a beautiful thing, and I'm just so thankful that God gave me life where I can give birth to 4 beautiful children, and I am so proud of each and every one of them. All right, y'all. And the funny thing about it, y'all, these birthdays finna get to rolling around, and they finna get to rolling and rolling and rolling because, baby, they don't stop. These birthdays start from March, and they don't end until July, baby. These birthdays finna roll and roll and roll, roll. And y'all, I'm gonna tell you something. I am a mother of Aries babies. Okay, I have 3 Aries babies and I have a Cancer baby. Okay, y'all, and I am a person that believes in zodiac signs. I don't care what nobody said, how they say it, and what they're gonna say about it. It's all right with me, baby, but I truly believe in zodiac signs. And I'm gonna tell you something, I wish I would have started believing in zodiac sign back in my early 20s because it could have saved me from a lot of heartache and pain. But you know, that's life and it goes on, and baby, I'm still here and I'm still gathering it, and I'm gathering it together. Okay, because I have done that, been there, done that, and now I'm still doing it. Okay, y'all. So y'all, yeah, I'm just too excited because it's my baby birthday, y'all. We gonna have a good time today. And so y'all gonna see the little board. I'm gonna insert a video of the board that I made for him. And yeah, and this is going to be his very first one because when his sister turned 16, I made it for her, and he went off because he was like, where mine said, I want one, I want one, I want one. And I had to explain it to him. I said, you only get it at a certain time of the year on your birthday, you know. And he was like, so when would I get mine? I said, you will get yours when you're 14. Okay, and then you'll get another one at 16. And he's like, oh man, I can't wait till I'm 14. But hell, today is the day, baby, he turned 14. Hell, he might have forgot about it, y'all. That's been so long ago when he asked me about it. Shit, he might have forgot about it, y'all. But hey, I'm gonna surprise him with his little board today. And yeah, today. May the good Lord bless and keep you. May the good Lord bless and keep you. May the good Lord bless and keep you. Okay, guys, we have made it to the birthday party, and y'all, I am having chicken, corn, and mashed potatoes for my baby boy birthday. And y'all get down in the comments and wish my baby a happy 14th birthday. Bye bye. Hey y'all, what's going on? It's your girl Thickness with the Quickness, and y'all, I am back from my son's 14th birthday party. Okay, y'all. And I was like, wait, let me just get back on here and kind of like end my video for the day. Now, I know y'all didn't get too much footage on the party, but I did my best, you know, with what I had. Okay, so don't hold it to my heart and don't even hold it to my mind. My son really enjoyed his birthday party, and I want to give a shout out to everybody so far that I saw that wish him a happy birthday, and I want to thank you guys so much. Okay, and he was happy as well, and he said welcome. Thank y'all. I'm not talking about welcome. He said thank y'all as well, you guys, for wishing him a happy birthday, because y'all didn't have to, but y'all did for the girl thickness with the quickness, and I appreciate you all and everything. I just know that the world have changed so much when it come down to our children. So anyway, y'all, I allow him to have his friends, and um, you know, I took care of everything. What did nobody have to worry about anything. I also um, made sure the kids that came got a ride back home, or all of that type of stuff. Something that I used to do with my older kids. Now, what I did find out is this, that I don't have patience anymore. That's why I have grown children to help out with these type of things. But shit, this thing went so out of control, where not really out of control. This thing went a little to the left, where my oldest daughter, Keiki, said she didn't want to be bothered with it. But anyway, y'all, it went like this. First of all, one of the kids couldn't show up, so that was fine. So for what my understanding was, it just was going to be two kids showing up, and then we was like, okay, cool, no worries. So the other kid, he couldn't get to the party. He had to come in a lift, and he didn't have money for the lift. So my son is back communicating back and forth with him. He was like, well, Mom, he can't come because he don't have money to get in the lift and this and that and other. And I was like, okay. I said, well, just tell him to take the lift over to the place and we'll pay for it when he get there. And so he was like, okay, okay. So we end up, we did just that. So he was like an hour late to the party. So anyway, he comes in. He comes in with his sister, and he comes in with his cousin. Now these kids, we didn't know that they were showing up, because we all kind of look like, okay, so it's three of them. You know what I'm saying? Which me, I'm a mother. Then I didn't mind. I didn't mind at all. So anyway, he came in, and so they all came in and just sat down. No one said anything. No one spoke. No one said hello. No one said anything. So me, I took initiation and I said, hey, how y'all doing? Like that. So, and I'm like, so who are you? So I've never met these kids. And one thing about me, y'all, I like to know who my kids are dealing with, who their peers are. I like to know that, because my kids don't have no friends. You have peers and associates. That's all we have. Okay. So I wanted to know who my son be, dealing with at school. So I'm curious to know. So yeah, I want to make sure they're at the party. Who I want to know who his peers is. And so that being said, like I said, they walked in. When they walked in, nobody spoke. Nobody said hello. None of that. And I just looked at the kids and I say, oh, so they're not going to speak. So I did initiation and I went ahead and say, hey, y'all. I'm like, so who are you? And he was like, well, I'm his friend, and this is my sister and this is my cousin. Like that. And I said, hello. Like that. And then the other little gentleman, he said, hello, how you doing? And I'm like, I'm good. So then the little girl, they had a little girl with him. And when I say that you could just feel the sassiness and the how can you say it? To me, I'm just gonna be blunt with it. You could feel the evil. You could feel the unhappiness, the sadness, the anger. You could feel that in her. And so I said, hello. Baby, she didn't even speak. She wouldn't speak. And I was like, oh, okay. So we had already paid for their the my son's peers. We already had paid for the little boy, but we didn't know the other two was coming, so we had to go and pay for them like that. So we said all that. So the boys was like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and get something to eat. The little girl said, I'm not hungry. I don't want anything to eat. And I'm like, oh, you don't want nothing to eat, baby? I said, well, you already paid for it. You can eat when you get ready. Well, no, I don't want anything to eat like that. When I tell y'all nasty position, when I tell you just her attitude was nasty, just the way she looked, you could just see her demeanor was just nasty for no reason at all. I had never laid my eyes on these kids in my life. You know what I'm saying? But this little girl was very hostile. For what reason I don't know. But she goes to school with my son. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So me, I'm a mother. First thing I looked at the baby, I say, man, I said, she's very unhappy about something. I said, something is going wrong with her life. And I was like, you know, I don't want this at my party for my kid that I done spent money for. I want to stay in good spirit, but I don't want this devil to ruin anything. You know, y'all can, I'm going to tell you, the devil is very powerful. He lives in everybody, even the youngest kids. The devil lives in them. Okay. So anyway, y'all, you know, so I was like, okay. I said, well, when you do get hungry, you're more than welcome to eat. She, you know, with an attitude. Never seen this child in my life. What are you so angry about? So I had to do a little prep talk to myself, and I was like, okay. I knew that this kid was gonna be a piece of work. No, her mannerism is very grown, you know, very grown. Not a child at all in this little here wiggly ass body. I'm just gonna keep it 100 with y'all, okay? And if I said something that is very disrespectful, under, like we used to say back in the old day, don't talk under my clothes. If I said something under her clothes, don't hold it to my heart, and don't even hold it to my mind, because you came to this little gathering with a nasty position, and I did not like that. So anyway, they went on and got their little tools and foods and their little whams, but her, and they came and sat down and they began to eat. The little boys, it was them, and then it was another young lady. The other young lady, she was there before we was, you know, and you could tell she was a little bit nervous, you know, being around us. You know, she might not spend it. Let me tell you, quote unquote, she was a white girl, little white girl. You could tell that she really she have been around black people, but I don't think she'd been around the black people that got some sense when they out in public, because you could just tell that she was like a little nervous. I'm just gonna keep it 100 with you. So you could tell that she just was just a little bit nervous around us. So I started talking to her. I'm like, so yeah, so how you know my son, and and how long y'all been knowing each other? And she was just, yeah, he's nice. I like hanging around him. He's really cool, and we talk all the time, and this, that, and another. So as she saw that I would kept, talking to him, like, you okay, baby? Go get you something to eat. She said, no, I ate before I came. Anyway, I talked to her enough where she started, getting a little bit comfortable with me. So I kept checking in with her, And so meanwhile, I done already been turned off the little girl. I kind of just cut her off because I already know she came here for a fight. She came here with a nasty position. So I kind of tuned her off. So I just said to the little boys, I said, so how y'all be doing in school? Y'all doing good in school? And how y'all get along? Is everything be good? And, just talking to the little fellas. You know what I'm saying? As we sitting there, we begin to tell them, like, y'all got access to play the games. Y'all got access to bowl. Everything that's in here, y'all can do it because it's already paid for. And this, that, and other. And they was like, the boys was like, okay, Miss, what they call it, Miss Hootville, Miss Sister Girl, she ignoring, anything we saying, ignoring, ain't paying attention, ain't ignoring, sitting there with her legs crossed, and I'm looking upside her head like, okay, I'm not gonna tell y'all what I was thinking, but I was thinking, Because I'm like, you got an attitude for nothing and no one did nothing to you. I have never laid my eyes on you at all, but I can see this animosity already against me and my family, you know. So I was like, okay. So I just, made sure the kids was good, ensuring them and letting them know that what they can do and what they can't do. Because like I said, we didn't even know the other two was coming, but the people that we are, I don't turn down no kids about eating or anything. I'm just not that type of mother or that type of woman. So anyway, y'all, we just talking and have a little conversation, little talks with the kids and things like that. I didn't want to, be too, strong with them, because I want them to enjoy themselves, because a lot of kids get nervous with moms and dads around. But I wanted to let these kids know that I'm a cool mom. My kids know that I'm a cool mom. I can get on any level with my kids or with anybody. I can get on any level. And when it come down to kids are my passion. They're my heart. I'll do anything to my kids, for kids, as long as they're respectful kids. But I knew that this little child was not a respectful kid right off the back. And that comes from somebody at home not teaching well, okay? So anyway, they just having a good time. Everybody talking. So y'all, I reach over, y'all. My cup fell and ice and pop went all over me. She bust out and started laughing, baby. She laughed so hard. And I looked at her. I said, "You found that funny?" I said, "You really find that funny?" She just kept on laughing and laughing because the pop fell on me. I said, "Oh, okay, that's funny." Like that. And so I was like, So everybody's trying to give me tissue to clean up and stuff. So everybody trying to help clean up the pop and stuff. Because y'all, when I tell you that pop waves, it went everywhere. So everybody trying to help clean up and stuff like that. She steadily laughing, But I ain't going to tell you what I'm thinking, because I know God wouldn't like that. And it wouldn't be appropriate. So I said, oh, okay. I said, she find it's funny. So I said it out loud. I said, she find it's really funny. She didn't say, "Ma'am, I wasn't laughing at you. I didn't find it funny, baby." She kept on laughing and turned around and laughed again. I said, ugh. I said, "This is a nasty little sister." And I was like, so what is this all about? Is what I'm saying to myself. So I said, okay, let me tune this child out, because I know I'm a mother. I don't play about mine, and I know everybody else don't play about theirs. So I say, let me not say anything to this child, because I see she don't know any better. You know, she want to fit in a crowd that she could never fit into. You know what I'm saying? You could tell that she got to work hard to be around other kids. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not a child bone in her body, just sassy, grown, nasty, disrespectful. It's just what I see in this kid. So I say, me, I don't do well with the kids now that I'm a grown, older adult. Now in my young days, I would have got down with her, when I was raising my oldest two kids. But now that I'm older and I'm kind of set in my ways now, I watch my mouth, I watch what I say to other people's kids. But the old me would have checked her, and I would have checked her hard. She would have had to got up and call her mom and told her mom to come see me. But I'm not like that no more. That's why I'm so grateful that I have older children, because things like this I don't necessarily have to do. But being a mother, your kids want you to be at their little parties and things that they do. So, you do that. But I'm thankful to God that I have older children that can do these parties and take the kids on outings and take them bowling and things like that. That's what I'm grateful for, because I have done my time with the young parties and being around the smart ass kids, okay? Because my patience right here is this short. I don't have time for no disrespectful kid. So anyway, it was a gag with her, baby. She giggle and she tickle and she wiggle all in that chair, baby. And I just kept looking at her, because that's what type of person I am. I just kept looking at her the whole time she was there. But then me, being a mother, that I see that this child is hurting, I'm going to still be a woman about it. So I said, y'all all good? I said, y'all gonna, they was like, well, we done eating, we wanna go play again. I said, well, y'all go ahead and do y'all thing. Y'all do exactly what y'all wanna do. My oldest daughter, she just watches because she know me. I got my own self. You know what I'm saying? She know my mouth. She know I got my own self. I could be nicely and nasty. Okay? I could be nasty and nice, y'all. That's what type of person I am. And you will feel my presence when I get to being nasty about things. But I know how to do it the right way. So my daughter, she just looked and she didn't say anything because I had already gathered it. I had already said what I needed to say to that child, you know. So anyway, they gone on and they play and shit. And so my daughter, she takes them over there. So my daughter, she come back and she said, "Man, I just really had to say, to the little girl." She said, "Your whole aura is just nasty." She said, "You didn't came in with your nasty position and you trying to uproar this party and you're not." She said, "Everything in here is paid for you to do and have a good time. And you coming over here with a nasty attitude." She said, "We don't know you, little girl. We just want to make sure you having a good time." And she said the little girl just was going back and forth with her and stuff. I can't remember everything she said the little girl was saying to her. She said she was felt like she was standing up there arguing with a woman. She said, "You know what?" She said, "Let me stop talking to you." She said, "Because I don't want to ruin my little brother's birthday, you know, because we see that my son is happy and having a good time." So she said she didn't want to ruin his birthday. She said, but she seen that this little girl had a real beef with us. And we ain't never seen this child in our life. Never. So anyway, y'all, they went on, the kids having a good time. They enjoying themselves. And so I sat at the table the whole time, basically watching, their drinks and food. So I just sat at the table and I let them do their thing. So, okay, y'all. So the party is over with. So everybody's getting ready to go home. So we had already said we was going to give the kids a ride home, but somehow their mama got in touch with them and told them that she was going to send them a lift. So we going back and forth, back and forth. The place is closing and everything. So we just standing there back and forth trying to figure out how the kids going to get home. So she finally say she ain't got money to send a lift to come pick them up. And we was like, fine, we was going to bring them home anyway. So we end up bringing the kids home, y'all. So the first little boy, he get out the car. He didn't say anything. Then the little girl, she get out the car. She didn't say anything. So my daughter was like, they ain't gonna say thank you like that. And so then the other little boy, he get out the car. He was like, thank you. So I was like, said to them, I say, y'all not gonna say thank you or anything like that? Baby, that little girl and that little boy kept on walking like they didn't hear nothing I said. I say, so y'all gonna get a ride and y'all didn't say thank you. I said, that's messed up. I said, okay. So the little boy, he was like, thank you, ma'am. And he said, I said, baby, you're welcome. And I said, you know what? I said, keep that good energy. I said, keep that politeness. And I said, that's going to take you far in this world. I said, always be respectful and never always be mindful of grown-ups and people. And I said, you're going to go far in this world. He said, thank you so much. And I said, baby, you're welcome. You have a good night. So he going on in the house and stuff. So we began to drive back home. I said, you know what? That's a shame that this mother raised these children like this. There's nobody's fault but the parents, you know. But y'all, I could say more, but I'm going to leave it like that because I don't like speaking on people kids, because the way people raise their kids, that's their business. But I guarantee you, if you drop my kids off or take them anywhere or give them anything, they're going to automatically say thank you. You ain't got to ask for them to say thank you. But y'all, that's the end of this story. At the overall, my son had a good time. He enjoyed his birthday, and that's what meant the most to me. Long as he was happy, we was happy. But so y'all, that's the end of the story. So in the meantime, between time, y'all, thank y'all for listening to the story. And if you got any comments, get down in the comments and let your girl know. And thank y'all for giving me up to 510 subscribers. Thank you very much. Maybe it's 508 subscribers. I really don't know. I hadn't checked it again, y'all. Or the last time I checked. Okay, y'all. But anyway, thank y'all for subscribing to my channel. Thank y'all for choosing me. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, baby. And baby, get in the comments because I talk back, baby. Okay, y'all. So in the meantime, between time, y'all, God bless. And y'all stay safe. Bye-bye.